Welcome to episode 597 of AI Brief. I'm your host, Amin, and I'm joined today by my amazing co-host, Leah. We have an absolutely packed deep dive for you all today.
We really do. I mean, the contrast between our stories today is just, well, it's pretty wild.
It really is. I mean, on one hand, we've got SpaceXAI's Grok 4.6 completely upending the frontier model space, like going from the underdog to just totally dominating.
And on the other hand, we have this incredibly touching, almost mind-bending story about an AI-generated cancer vaccine for a dog, which actually just launched a major startup.
It is the perfect snapshot of where we are right now. We're seeing these massive sweeping infrastructure changes at the frontier level.
While at the exact same time, we've got these hyper-personalized, literal life-saving applications happening, right in people's homes. It perfectly captures the duality of this current AI era.
Absolutely. So let's just jump right into the big shakeup. SpaceXAI officially launched Grok 4.6. And, well, if you rewind a year ago, calling Grok a frontier model was basically a punchline.
Oh, totally. No one at the Legacy Labs was taking it seriously back then.
But nobody is laughing now. To put this in perspective for you, it is like an overlooked backup quarterback just stepping onto the field and, throwing a perfect game to win the Super Bowl.
That is exactly what it feels like. The leap is just staggering.
It really is. Let's look at the stats here. Grok 4.6 scored a 61 on the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index.
Which is a huge milestone. That officially pushes it past OpenAI's GPT 5.6 Sol.
Right, and it leaves it just a hair behind Anthropic's Fable 5, which sits at a 62, and Opus 5 at 63.
But the internal improvements are what really stand out to me.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Grok 4.5 notoriously struggled with coding. But now, 4.6 outright beats Sol on major coding benchmarks.
And it even edges out Fable on complex professional and legal reasoning. The leap is just huge.
And a big part of that was their earlier partnership with Cursor, the AI code editor. They really tapped into high-quality coding workflows.
Right, they taught the model how to reason efficiently instead of just throwing raw compute at it.
Exactly. And the craziest part is the economics. Grok 4.6 is priced at just $2 per million input tokens and $6 for output.
Which means it's a full 60% cheaper than its direct frontier rivals. That is so aggressive.
It's an all-out assault on the market.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is already out there declaring it objectively #1 when you combine intelligence, speed, and cost.
Well, and the real implication here is the pressure this applies to the whole ecosystem, especially with Grok 4.7 looming in just 3 to 4 weeks.
Competitors are going to be forced to rush new models and slash prices. So we have Grok pushing the absolute boundaries of scale, but there is another story today pushing the boundaries of impact.
The story about Rosie the dog, this one is just, it's incredible.
It really is. So this guy, Paul Cunningham, and his dog, Rosie. For 11 months, vets just entirely missed her mast cell cancer diagnosis.
Which is so heartbreaking, and by the time they caught it, it was too late for the standard options.
Right, the surgery failed, chemo failed, immunotherapy failed. They basically gave Rosie just months to live.
I feel like most people in that situation would just have to accept it and say goodbye.
But Cunningham didn't. He actually used ChatGPT and AlphaFold to analyze the tumor's mutations.
Wait, he used off-the-shelf AI to do molecular analysis?
Really did. He took that data, partnered with the University of New South Wales, and they developed a personalized mRNA vaccine that literally reduced Rosie's tumors.
That is just wild. It is the ultimate democratization of science.
And the momentum behind this is crazy. Back in March, Sam Altman actually met with Cunningham and was just like, this should be a company.
When Sam Altman tells you that, you definitely listen.
Exactly. So now it's Gamgee. It's a Y Combinator-backed startup managing end-to-end custom design, treatment, and monitoring. And they already have their first trials underway down in Australia.
Which matters so broadly beyond just saving dogs, as amazing as that is. It proves that an individual can drive a breakthrough. And honestly, this veterinary success could serve as a fast-track pipeline for highly personalized human cancer treatments.
It really is a completely new era. Let's zoom out a bit, though, because there's a lot more going on. Walk us through everything else happening in AI today.
So, shifting gears a bit, we need to talk about Google's massive day.
Oh, for sure. Gemini is just exploding everywhere.
It officially hit 1 billion users. That makes it Google's fastest growing product ever, which is just Hard to even wrap your head around.
It's a staggering number for sure.
And they didn't just stop at the software side. They introduced the new Pixel 11 lineup, and they have embedded Gemini so deeply across those devices.
So it's not just an app you tap anymore, right?
Exactly. It's doing proactive prompts, multi-step tasks across apps, and the voice upgrades are massive. It finally feels like a fluid conversation.
That is huge for everyday use. What else is on the radar?
Well, there's this total startup valuation explosion. AI coding startup Lovable just secured $400 million in funding.
Wow. What does that put their valuation at?
An astronomical $13.3 billion. That is more than double their valuation from just last December.
Okay, wait, I have to push back here or just ask you to weigh in for our listeners. Because at the exact same time, DeepSeek quietly rolled out V4 Pro today.
They did, and it sits just below the frontier and open leaders on the benchmarks.
Right, but their pricing is what's crazy to me. It's just $0.435 for input and under $1 for output per million tokens.
It is practically free compute.
So here is my question. With DeepSeek crashing the cost of base models to rock bottom, is the real money in AI right now actually in building the applications, like Lovable, rather than racing to the bottom on compute costs?
I think that's the exact takeaway. You can think of the base models as electricity. It's becoming a cheap, commoditized utility.
Oh, that makes sense, like the power grid.
Right. And the real exponential value is shifting to the companies building the appliances that use that electricity. The premium is on the specific workflow solutions.
That is a perfect analogy. Are there any other big updates before we move on?
Just a quick event alert. Glean.go is taking place in San Francisco on August 26th and 27th.
Nice. What's the focus there?
It's really focusing heavily on integrating AI into everyday work, so definitely one for you all to watch.
Good to know. Well, speaking of integrating AI into everyday work, let's get into today's trending AI tools.
Let's do it.
I want to explicitly assign a practical everyday use case for each of these tools so you all can see how to apply them. First up is Grok 4.6.
The new heavy hitter on the block.
Exactly. The practical use case here is high-level professional or legal document analysis. If your team needs top-tier intelligence at a steep discount, this is your tool.
Absolutely. What's next on the list?
Next is Qwen 3.8 Max, which is Alibaba's flagship open-weight model.
Open weight is so crucial right now for data privacy.
You nailed it. The use case is for enterprises that need to run a highly capable private model locally. You don't have to rely on external APIs at all.
That is a total game changer for the healthcare or finance sectors.
For sure. Third on the list is DeepSeek V4 Pro, the ultra-cheap one we just touched on.
Right, the fraction of a penny model.
Yeah. The application here is processing massive data sets. Or if you need to run thousands of basic routine queries where cost efficiency is your main priority over absolute reasoning.
Because you don't need a super genius model just to sort basic feedback emails, right?
Exactly. Save your money. Fourth is Grokbot, which is SpaceXAI's always-on agent teammate.
I am really curious how teams will actually adopt this one in practice.
The use case is deploying a persistent virtual assistant in a dedicated cloud. It basically just sits there and actively manages the team's ongoing project management.
Very cool. So it's active, not passive.
Yep. Then we have Desk Fairy. This is a tool to literally build AI employees.
Wow. So taking workflow automation to the next level.
It really is. It's for automating complex, multi-step back-office business workflows, things like end-to-end HR onboarding.
It frees up so much human capital.
Definitely. Number 6 is Boson. This turns voice interaction into real business advantages.
Meaning better phone systems?
Basically, yes. The use case is building incredibly fluid, natural, voice-driven customer service lines. No more frustrating robotic phone trees.
I think we can all be thankful for that.
Seriously. And lastly, we have MascoFast. This is for the AI creation and animation of custom mascots.
That sounds super niche, but honestly, really fun.
It is. The use case is instantly generating unique brand identities and marketing materials for a new product launch.
You know, it is just wild when you step back and look at how powerful these tools are when you actually stack them together.
Oh, the compounding effect. Walk us through how that looks.
Well, imagine using Desk Fairy to manage an entire business workflow. Within that, Boson is handling the incoming customer voice calls natively.
Okay, so the voice AI is talking to the customer in real time.
Exactly. And while that's happening, DeepSeek V4 Pro is running in the background, instantly processing and categorizing those call transcripts for literal fractions of a penny.
That is profound. You've just built a fully automated department with 3 tools. And I think that brings us full circle to wrap up this deep dive.
It really does connect all the dots today.
We started off looking at this massive, sweeping scale, right? Google's Gemini hitting 1 billion users and Grok 4.6 assaulting the frontier with its pricing.
Massive global infrastructure shifts.
But then we tie that all the way back to the intimacy of Rosie the dog and Paul Cunningham using those exact same tools to engineer a custom cancer vaccine.
It is the ultimate proof of how accessible this technology has become to individuals.
It is. And it leaves me with this deeply provocative final thought for you all to mull over.
I'm ready for it.
With individuals using off-the-shelf AI to literally create personalized vaccines, where is the next era-defining medical breakthrough actually going to come from?
That is the big question right there.
Will it come from a billion-dollar pharma lab? Or is it going to come from an insanely curious person with an internet connection and the right AI tools?
It is a totally new world. Thanks for exploring it with us today, everyone.
Be sure to follow and share the podcast. See you in the next episode.